Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Teachings. What a solid day, guys. Historic day, especially with NVIDIA. Big runner today. So we will recap that big trend day in the market. So today is the day which is, you stay with the trend. Today was a long trend day, so you stay long. So we'll discuss all that solid day for community today. Before I start, just quick introduction to anybody who's new to me, new to my YouTube, new to my Twitter, or new to my community. These trade recaps and these teachings are from the trades that I'm taking or I'm not taking, but any trades that our community we are trading, any trade ideas that I share on Twitter, like Nvidia and GameStop, for example, any Twitter ideas or any YouTube ideas or any ideas which I'm guiding on the community on the voice or sharing. So we recap all those plays, whether it's a swing, day trade, investing, whatever it is, we recap that, and we do not trade random. We have fixed system. My fixed system, thousands of traders across the world use this fixed system. I have set number of setups. I have set number of setups which I repeat again and again and again, and I have been using that for years. And now we trade those setups in our community every day, day in, day out. We repeat the same setups, and every day my team, we are up early in the pre-market. We create a game plan for our community. This was today's game plan: CrowdStrike, HPE, PVH, a bunch of other names, which I go in the pre-market, build the levels, I make a general game plan, and then I go on the voice and guide through these plays. And if I'm taking any trade, I share with the community. So that was the overall game plan today. In addition to this game plan, we also share something called our day 2 day 3 setup. This is my strategy. This is a strategy that I invented, that we use in our community. These are day 2 day 3 setup based upon the plays that have happened, that have moved big in last few days. I did a free webinar for everyone on day 2 day 3 setups. This webinar is also included in our community webinar list. You can go there and watch it. And in addition to that, we also create pre-market levels. For example, these were our pre-market levels. We'll talk about SPY, QQQ, how these levels worked out today. You can use these levels, use the support and resistance pivots to trade on your own, using the support resistance concepts and using the EMA cloud system concepts. So we provide these levels to the community every day so that they can trade with these levels, on their own, because our encouragement in the community is to make everybody self-dependent, so everybody can trade the setups, have good gains and minimal losses, so that we can continue to trade consistently as a professional community. So that's we try to do, right? Every morning when the market opens, I'm on the voice for first few hours, guiding the community through the morning setups, 10 a.m. setups, looking at the market. Is the market short? Is market long? Everything I guide community through, and I get on the voice if needed during the day, but all day we are guiding. We have our trading floor where hundreds of traders are trading all day, sharing their trade ideas on the trading floor. There was some solid trade ideas in the community today as well. We'll talk few of those, and then I will show you my timestamp comments that I share on in my feed, my alerts feed, about what the setups are looking at, or targets and all that. So guys, so that's kind of quick introduction. So what we are doing here, so I'm going to start with the first play of the day, and then we go from there. The first one we're going to look at today is our NVIDIA trade, right? So let's go back and check our NVIDIA trade. Before I do that, let me show you what I shared a few days back. What did I share on Twitter? I shared an idea, trade idea, and let's see how that panned out. So this was the Twitter X idea that I shared few days back. So the idea was that insane flow is coming in. It does not care about other semiconductor sector, and so this was the setup, right? Price alerts. So this was a range breakout. So this was a range breakout, which was set up over 1150 for a push to 1200. So that was the plan. That was what I gave everyone yesterday. And yesterday it started to break out of this pivot. It broke out yesterday, and then today it finally gave us the full follow through. So you see that how it peaked over that breakout area that I gave yesterday, and then it hit our 1200 target, And we will talk about how the 1200 we managed, what were we looking at 1200, and then it pushed forward, right? We were long all day using our intraday setups, so we can talk about that. So let me go back here. So let's first look at our levels we had on NVIDIA, right? The most important level we had on NVIDIA was 1184. That was our resistance. So you see that when NVIDIA starts to break out of that resistance, it's a bullish. It pulls back to the EMA clouds, is hold that and starts to push. And that's when I tell everyone that it's a pre-market high breakout. 1200 is your target. So 1200 is your first target, and then we are flagging here. People were asking me what is the target. I said 1200 is your target, and we met our 1200 target. That's fine. Then what's happening here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we know that the sellers are suppressing the price. There's a big, huge seller, but guess what? The buyers are equally strong, right? Whoever is suppressing the price, market makers, the option sellers, the big sellers. And I told my community that we are not cutting, we are holding. We only cut if 512 EMA clouds break, right? So this was my breakout alert, which I gave to the Twitter folks. But we were already in this trade, because of the reasons I explained on the daily chart, and of course on the intraday pre-market high breakout, right? So anyways, so it breaks out, and I was trading 1220 calls, and you can see all time guidance in the community. I was also going on voice explaining to everyone that we hold. So I say, should push more, keep the runners, beautiful breakout. Okay, and then 1210 was the first target, and then 1220 was our second target. And then guess what? 1210 target met. Then the next target I gave was 1220, almost on the deck, and here we go, we met our 1220 target, and then it broke out further out of the 3 trillion market cap. So it pushed over the 3 trillion market cap, and then it kind of went up and down. But look what it's doing right now. So right now it held the EMA clouds again. So I told everybody only cut NVIDIA if it breaks the 512, and then it, because then it will be 1225 target, and we did meet 1225 target as well after hours. And I said, can squeeze some AH after hours if you held some lotos, or I did tell you can hold your lotos. That was a 4 a.m. when I told everybody, and look here, it's squeezed to 1238 already. So your lotos will be up tomorrow. So you saw that the guidance whole day from the long hair all the way up, all the way to 1240s, right? So that was the trade, guys. So that was the A plus trade, how you make money on NVIDIA. And even if you take one contract, so one 1220 contract went from like $10 all the way to $25, like 150% increase, and it might be 200-300% tomorrow. So even if you small account or medium size account, one contract $1,000 is more than enough, right? If you have 10 contracts, if you're large account, your $10,000 turned into $20,000, right? So that was the kind of trade which they give you. Now, if somebody was trying to short this trend, when clearly Ripster EMA clouds are saying do not short, they lost money, because there is no short. We don't do that. I even warned everybody, do not short NVIDIA. Somebody was trying to short with 1200 and they got squeezed, because our system never told us to short. Our system was always long, and that's how we were long all day. And community did amazing in NVIDIA all day. Most of community was green, crazy. You can see all the community trading NVIDIA with strength, right? You see how this guy grew 20% of his account. He was always selling, but now he follows the rules, so he does not sell, and he held the winner. His account is up 20%, right? So those are the things which makes you consistent winners and huge winners. TY made 5,000, right? It's not about the money, it's about the winning the trade, having exponential winners. So that's what that's what I teach, that's what I encourage. It's not about dollar, it's about the percentage, right? How you grow. And these kind of trades are what you need to master. And I'm not showing anything hindsight. I showed you the Twitter idea I shared 2 days ago. I showed you how I guided the community on the pre-market high breakouts, the levels we built. I showed you how I tweeted the 1200 breakout even. And not only that, we talked about, let's see, we talked about this, let me show you here, this 1200 seller. So you see, it's like a pressure cooker, right? You put a pressure, these sellers, guess what, once it gets out, the option market makers who have sold the options are short, so they need to buy to hedge their position, so kind of a gamma squeeze. So once this pressure was gone, boom, right over the 1200, boom, like I even posted this, shall not pass, because the sellers are too much. And once they were gone, boom, right? So these are things you need to learn: price action system, psychology, options management. So all these things come together to help us make good money and grow our account with the proper risk reward. And these are the opportunities that we must capitalize on. So anyways, guys, huge trade for NVIDIA, for the community, for Twitter followers. Hopefully you guys nailed as well. If you missed it, that's fine. Be ready next time. There always will be opportunities. Let's go to the next one. All right, guys. Next one we're going to look at is CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike was a big winner at the open. I was mostly in the short, but a lot of the community traders were trading it as long as well. Let's take a look. All right, let's just take a look at the screenshot first. It's easier. And so actually, let me show the levels first of CrowdStrike. What was the plan? CrowdStrike was our #1 news play today. I told everyone it's a #1 focus. Revenue beat, EPS beat, raised guidance. 332, 328 support. Resistance was 344. Bullish bias, but if 328 breaks, gap fill. What did I say? If 328 breaks, it's a gap fill. So I already planned this in the pre-market. In the pre-market, this has been planned already by me. And guess what? Right? That's how you make, that's how we have these winners every day. You can go back 1 year. I just follow the system that I built. And that's why all the traders community, 70% of community is always green, and I know a lot of people don't believe this, but I show you every day. So anyways, 330 breaks, I start the short. Short is working. 330 need to fade, see lower highs. It swiped a little bit, but it rejected and then faded 330 again. I said add more short. 320 first target, failed 512s. 320 puts went 100%. The next target I gave everybody was 315, but that's fine. We did not meet 3. So it met Fibonacci target, right? So I drew the Fibonacci from yesterday's close or low candle to the opening price today, so I could see my Fibonacci targets. So you see that there is a Fibonacci where it's bouncing. So so we covered mostly everything because it was a big fade, right? 330 to 316, $12, 320 puts went 200%. What else do we need? So exponential winner, right here in the community. So that was the exponential winner. But something I want to show you guys that I'm working on it. I haven't launched it today, but I will show you when I launched it. So look here, right? So CRM. So what was CRM doing? Let's see if I can show you that. Hold on, it's not showing up. Anyways, so let's go to the daily chart. I'm building something. I will show you later. So okay. So CRM, not CRM. What I'm doing? CrowdStrike. My bad. Why was it? Why am I looking at crowds? Okay. All right. So you see that CrowdStrike. What is this? This is daily 50 EMA. I teach you this. I teach you this every day. I teach you this. So many videos, so many shorts, and I tell you about the importance of daily 50 EMA. Right. So there was a Fibonacci, and then there was a 50 EMA. That's where the CrowdStrike bounced. That's where the CrowdStrike bounced. So those are the key EMAs that you can have on your if you don't want to look at daily chart, but you see how it held that 50-55 EMA. This is the new EMAs clouds that I will launch pretty soon. These are from the daily chart that you can have on your intraday chart. So it just gives you another level where the stock can bounce or fade So it's important level to watch. You see when CrowdStrike first pushed over the daily 50 EMA, it kept on pushing. It's some level. It's a good level to watch. 50 EMAs are very important. So anyways, so it bounces there, and then there's a there's a call in the community. MACD was on top of it. NKS, our level 1 trader, who has been really giving out nice calls, he told about the call. So I usually don't take this is a B minus call for me. Yes, if I would, I maybe risk this support because a double bottom or a support from the after our level, and so I can take that, I can take this, and maybe I can take a starter long. But the real long is right over here, 512 calls. And this, when this happens, I tell everybody, CrowdStrike, bullish breakout, it's a long now. And even from the 34.50 it went on to push to what, 340. So it was almost $10 to $12 push even when I told about the long, right? Even if you didn't take long here, you could take a long here at 512, 34.50 clouds, and then you could see that how it gave us how many points from even from here 328 all the way to 340. There was a $12 long, and there was a lot of money to be made. So you see how CrowdStrike was short and how was long. It was just, it's just beauty. Both side was calls, and you see the community was all over CrowdStrike today, long, short, taking both the trades. Mick was on top of it. LA, Drog, everybody. We just nailed it because we have a system. We short it, then we long it. You can long it here, but that's a B minus, C minus. This is the long by the more accurate, and still you made money because it's a better system. It's a higher probability trade. So that's how we did, guys. CrowdStrike, beautiful win, big win, huge win in the community. I showed you all the timestamps. I did show you how the community traded it, showed you the pre-market game plan. Let's go to the next one. So next one we're going to talk about is GameStop, which we are actually swinging. One thing I teach everybody is do not focus on the noise. Do not focus. People are talking about pump this, pump that. We don't care. We trade the momentum. We follow our rules. I saw today that GameStop, the 1 hour is turning bullish, and that was long for me. I don't care. I don't care it's a pump. I don't care what they're talking about. My system tells me long. I see the volume. I see the option flow, and it's a long for me. And I gave the long idea on Twitter as well. Some people were crying, hey, it's a pump and dump, be careful. What careful? I already made 100% gain on my 30 calls. I was on my lot of calls. I did good there because I follow my system. And if you see that, and I know hindsight, I show it in the morning, right? This is the setup. I gave everybody the setup. Community, we were earlier, we were closer to the 28. I gave this setup, and look where it goes. It's up like $4 since I gave that idea. You see that, right? 10-minute bullish, 1 hour bullish, breakout, 32 another breakout, right? So you take a long here, and your risk is right under here, under these levels or under these clouds. And levels are more important than clouds. First comes the levels, then comes the clouds. You really have to watch the webinars where I explain, or just go back, watch hundreds of my recaps. You will understand how we play this, right? So I do have all the time-stamped guidance here as well. GameStop, I was on the voice talking about that. I gave 28.60 level for a breakout. 30 was my first target. And then then it breaks down. We didn't see that. But then it was holding 34.50. So I told everybody, don't hold under 34.50. 34.50 bounce, still looking for HOD. Most likely I cut here and I re-add. In this case, I didn't even see that it broke down. But I would add here on the 34.50 bounce right here and then trade the calls long. Let's see how it opens today. We have some lotos, 32 calls, 35 calls. So it will be interesting to see how it goes, how we do it tomorrow. All right, let's quickly look at next one. I'm going to go a little faster through the other ones because these three were the important ones that I really wanted to discuss today. So let's look at HPE. So what was the plan on HPE? So HPE was a short for us today, right? So let's go here. So HPE was better than expected. Trade versus 20, gap fill under 20, breakout over 21. So plan was clear, right? Gap fill under 20, breakout over 21. So what does it do, right? So let's go back to HPE. So then we short it right at open. It works out. Then it swipes right back up. Then again, remember, it hasn't reclaimed the 512s. The candle is not moved over. We can cut it, but it's still a short. So starter okay. 19 was my first target, but it bounced from 1940. That's fine. Not a lot of risk. You know that's fine. You can still hold, and I see will close if it holds 20, right? But it did not really make a candle over 3450, right? It was still holding, little cautious, but then it broke down again. I reduced the position, then I added again, confirmed the short, moved the stops at 20. So then I told everybody to move the stops at 20. This time it faded, and look here. By this time I was done with it. I was just locking whatever profit I had of 30-40 cents, but it could not reclaim 20 yet again, right? Could not reclaim, and then it faded into the gap, right? I closed, but if you see here, it could not reclaim, and it will happen sometime. It will happen. You can reshort later in the day as well, HP right from here. So anyways, was kind of a scratch trade for me, but definitely was a little whippy. We wanted this to fade like this in the morning, would have been better, but there was definitely an opportunity later in the day. But you should not lose like a big chunk on, like, this was the amateur move. Okay, you short this pop. The pops are what you short, right? My risk was, see, I was shorting it right at the open, and what was my risk? 20 cents, 30 cents, nothing. That was nothing, right? But if you are adding here and then you're panicking here, excuse me, that's a problem, right? So little choppy, but the 20 held resistance all day. So remember this play next time if this happens. Scratch trade, wouldn't call it a loser. Scratch trade, and let's go to the next one. So let's look at NVAX, NVAX. NVAX was our gameplay today. Big winner for us today on NVAX. Let's go back and see how did NVAX work out. So where do you go? One second. So here you go. So NVAX 1750 was support, 1710 was support, 1750 was resistance. Vaccine generates broad neutralizing response. Good news. My bias was neutral. We have been trading NVAX for a while now. Since it was pushing from $10, we have been trading NVAX. It doubled since we've been trading it, because it's also a meme stock and it's also high short float stock. But anyways, once it broke over the pivots I gave, then it was a long, right? So it was a long, and I told everybody over the pivots long. The first target I gave was 20. 20 target hit. Second target I gave was 21.76. That target hit, and then it broke 512. I personally got out, but it did reclaim and push later. But that was a beautiful trade. Even if you trade it from this level, you see this level was it was an interesting level right here, and then there was this level. So these two levels provided a good long opportunity. This is my guidance. Beautiful trade in the community. Let's go to the next one. That was a huge move for small accounts. The options literally went crazy. From $18 all the way to $22. Beautiful trade. All right, let's quickly look at SMCI. So SMCI was our trade. In the morning, it didn't do much. And then because we were watching this 1 hour breakout, I shared this idea on Twitter as well. That is, you see, it turns bullish over 1 hour chart. Turned bullish, pulled back, held the cloud, and it was long. And that was the long that we really nailed, this long here. So when it was pushing here, I told everybody to put their stops at 780. Targets I gave was 810, 815. Right here, long here, stops here. You can use the timestamp to verify. And then, breakout, 822 breaks this down, you get out, right? Because we are just doing an intraday scalp. If you want to, if your entry is really good, if you want to swing it, then you use 3450 risk. You use the 3450 risk. But remember, further from the clouds you buy, more your risk. Closer to the clouds you buy, better your risk. So that's how you trade it, right? This was the trade right here on SMCI. And of course, the first trade, amateur trade, is a risky one, and you have to look at the 1 hour candle, and that can guide you how to trade this. Let's quickly look at next one from our game plan was DLTR. So let's see. So the DLTR, not this one right here. Okay. So DLTR, 115 was support, resistance was 119 to 120, long over the clouds, only over the clouds, only long over the clouds, bearish to neutral. So and what it do, it amateur candle over the clouds, but then it breaks the clouds. This is where you showed it, when it breaks the clouds, and then you fade it right under. And it did break 115 as well, the support I gave, and it faded to 112. So it was a good short scalp if you follow the guidance there. So crypto was all mostly short today, specifically Mara. It was heavy, and if you go to our crypto levels we give every day, you can see Mara support was 2077, 2044. Mara had made a big move yesterday, and guess what? Today it gave up. It gave up from this 2077 support. I did mention at the open that crypto is giving up. We faded all the way to 1944. That was a good short. All you have to do is follow the levels, right? If you trade these stocks. So that was Mara from our levels. Let's look at the next one. I didn't really trade it. PVH, the support was 117, resistance was 119. See, our bias was bearish bias to short the pop, but it was already over the clouds, so there's no short. Once it's over the clouds, there's no pop to short, right? The pop to short is if it's under the clouds. Once it pushes this much, no short. It's becoming bullish, and then it becomes long versus this cloud pullback. Right, so let me show you the resistance pivot, right? So the resistance pivot was right here, 119.30. So when 119.30 resistance, this area became the support and held it, and then it pulled back. It was all day long. It was not my personal trade, but I'm proud of a lot of traders who traded PVH long in the community today. Well done by them. So it was a beautiful trade. So let's look at SPY QQQ today. Okay, so SPY QQQ today was all long. It was not long initially because it was breaking down. Remember, when there's a gap, there's always a pressure to fill that gap. Weak, but was heavy. Then at 10:30 we had the breakout. Let's go back and look at my levels. Let's see if I can show you the levels. Okay, here you go. SPY 531, 203.16 or 458. Both those levels breaking out right here. You see that, right? You see this breakout right here, and you see this breakout right here. And all you need to do is just write the trend. And you see VIX breaking down, so VIX is breaking down, SPY is going up, US dollar is kind of weak, so you stay long. So here I say big breakout, market still strong, hold your calls, beautiful flag breakout. I gave a flag breakout alert as well in the middle of the day. This was the flag breakout that I gave to everyone. Even from the flag breakout we went on to run really nicely. There were actually quite a few flag breakouts on SPY QQQ today, right? So just write the system. I say only take off if 512 breaks, still in trend. If NVIDIA pushes, QQQ goes on a push. Told everybody, and all day long from this breakout, you take long here, your stops in the previous low, under the low of the candle or 512 EMAs. You take long here, or you take long here, 3450 EMAs, your risk, or you take long here, your risk here. If you want to detail like how to, position size and all that, I have covered all that in my previous videos, my ripstereducation.com. If you want in-depth, more organized, I have it in my webinars, so you can watch there. But this was a long, this is how you risk reward. SPY and QQQ calls literally went crazy. And if you look at the daily chart, right, never ignore the daily chart. So daily chart, this is again, we are breaking out this nice little handle breakout out of all-time highs. So we had this all-time high breakout. So you can see that, right? So yeah, okay, so right here, so you can see this breakout, right? So this was I have to move it a little lower. Let me see if I can move. Come on, yeah, right here. Yeah, so this was the breakout of this. That was SPY breakout right here. So this was why it was breaking out. So you need to always see the daily charts as well to understand these breakouts. Trade SPY QQQ long, sectors are strong. So beauty, 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 beauty today. All right, guys, that's it for today. Today really made up for a slow week. We're ready for Thursday and we're ready for Friday. See you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.